Now, the question at hand is, where do you put Blue Vegeta on a team? You can put him point or mid, right? Because he has great ways to mix up his opponent with his, you know, medium rekkas, right? Or you can go to heavy, things like that, you know. For the cross up, late air dash. So you want to have an assist behind you to do things like this, right? Which I'll talk about a little bit more later. But point or mid, he can't do his 50-50s by himself. And EX command grab is just that much better when you have an assist. Because remember, you can duck it and then 2H afterwards to punish it. But it's invincible for 15 frames roughly. Still a very abusable move, very scary to deal with, and you're gonna get caught by it. I'm gonna be real, Chief. You're gonna get caught, you're not gonna have a good time, but your opponent is gonna have a great time. Alright, so that's why point mid assists just make them that much better. And you can say that for a lot of characters, but there's obviously characters that do it better, and Blue Vegeta is one of those characters. Alright, so let's have a look at Vegeta's buttons. Very similar to Super Saiyan Vegeta, right? 5L, -3. Crouching light, -4, right? Standing medium, -5, -5 for the crouching medium. 5H, -10, super punishable. 2H, -14, right? The recliner is not too comfy if you don't cancel into anything. So nothing too crazy about them, nothing too special. They don't have the biggest range, right? They don't go that far, but that's not why you're playing this character. Then we have his Ki Blast, which they go at pretty good angles, right? The ground version. If it does hit, you can convert into the upper one, which is good. And I'll show what kind of conversions you can do into it after this. But let's move on to the air versions, right, of his buttons. So I'll block. Again, pretty standard, nothing too crazy, just like the other Vegetas. He has his old tried and true Jump M, probably his best button, especially in the air. Very good button. You can use it to cross up point blank on some characters, not all of them, of course, shorties. And then if they are crouching, you know, it can hit, but if they are smaller, remember, you have to do it a little spaced out just to make sure it hits. Jump heavy, nothing crazy, just a double axe hammer. And jump Ki Blast, again, probably the best thing in his toolkit when it comes to just normals, since this is a normal technically, right? No motion input needed. So pretty good, pretty standard, nothing too crazy about him, right? Well, I say that, but he's actually a pretty crazy character. But it's just regarding his normals, alright? Chill, homie. This is normals. We all know Big Bang. We all know EX command grab, chill. Alright, so let me just give you a little example of why his Ki Blasts are so strong. So due to the universal beam buff, you can do something like this now. You know, full screen, pretty decent damage. You can do EX command grab there if you want to get a conversion. You could do special tag after Big Bang. You can do EX kicks, right? You can do whatever you want to do at that point. You know, a lot of ways to convert off of it. You know, super reactable. You just throw these out. You're like, oh, I hit him. Great. Let me Big Bang. But do it a little bit faster than me. Boom. Great. You got a conversion. Or I believe you can do Niagara Pummel, right? Yeah, you could also do Niagara Pummel. I think you could do it after Big Bang. Let me see. I'm brain farting here. Yeah, okay, so there's a bunch of different ways to convert off of this, and it's typically where you're looking for meter build, damage, do you have any assists available by yourself, blah blah blah, right? There's a bunch of ways to convert full screen, which, you know, is the name of the game at this point. How can I make you explode without having to be in your face? So yeah, Ki Blast, again, some of the better tools at his disposal, especially because your normals aren't that great compared to some other characters. No, your auto combo goes pretty far, right? But you don't have the best auto combo in terms of a hitbox. Not that safe. It does space you out a little bit, but again, you have better tools with Ki Blast, Big Bang, and of course command grab. All right, so just a little idea of how you would stagger pressure with Vegeta. A lot of it will revolve around Big Bang or the Ki Blast, right? You know, space yourself out a little bit, keep your opponent guessing, right? You could of course throw multiple, you know, or you could bait them to Ki Blast, Big Bang if they try to super dash, or you could just Big Bang, right? You big bang, boom, you're +3. Now, do note, and I don't think a lot of people know this, that you can actually reflect between the first and second part of Big Bang. Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this. It is a small window, but you can reflect between the first and second half. So that means that you can level 3 it. So a lot of you that are struggling with Big Bang and don't know what to do, if you see your opponent Big Bang, you can do something in the middle of it. You can't cancel it, right? Because he's shooting it. The cancel window's gone. You just have to hold it. So it is not unbeatable, but it is super annoying. Now, of course, you know, if Blue Vegeta does have 6M still available, he can command grab. And if you command grab, right, and you do the M version of command grab, and this is more so for the corner, you can actually turn this into a 50-50, right? It's very scary. Obviously, depending on your assist, results may vary, but it is an option. And again, you could catch them standing because they think you're gonna 6M, but you actually command grab them, proceed to get a full combo, yada yada yada, right? I'm sure you've seen it before, you've either done it or you've been hit by it. There's just so many things you can do with this character. You know, you can go into Rekkas, right? You can just push them to the corner, call an assist, right? Keep them blocking, or do M Rekka, get the 50-50 here. Of course, your opponent can act. What would you say? Is that L? There we go. It's LM. Sorry, I was doing MM. You can also do the heavy version if you want to cross up. This character's jokes, man. Like, he used to have that 50-50 and that was great, right? You know, he had something, but now it's like, hey, what if he gave you everything? He gave you your cake and you could eat it. What a character, man. So yeah, a lot of ways to mix up your pressure, keep your opponent guessing, and they all lead to a bunch of damage, a bunch of meter gain. It's just up to you to figure out what coin you want to flip at that time that heavily favors you. And sometimes it's not even a coin flip, you know? Sometimes you just knowledge check them with Big Bang. Alright, so we talked about the specials a little bit, but let's get more into them, right? I already showed you Big Bang. Showed you there's a gap in the middle of it, right? It's a very scary move. It's very big. And again, there's so much hit stun to it that you could just super dash full screen, right? You can also vanish off of it. Boom, plus frames, right? It's a great move. Very scary. It's awkwardly delayed too. A lot of the time, and this happens to me and other pro players, right? You know, I've seen Yasha, right? I've seen Insem. I've seen them just get hit by this because they try to go in and they end up just getting hit by it, whether it's to block or they actually get a full conversion off of it. No one is safe from getting hit by Big Bang, dude. Wawa's been hit by this. You just don't know it. He just tried to go in and got hit by this. Do be warned though, since it is a little slow, right? If your opponent does have a full screen option, they can punish you for it, right? This is a great way to counterplay it. And if you have a level 5, boom, explode. But until your opponent proves that they have an answer, just keep throwing it out. Next, command grab. So, like command grab, pretty standard, right? It just gives you a knockdown. Medium command grab. This is more so if your opponent is jumping. This one does give you a conversion without needing to spend meter. Although you don't really use it too much, except for trying to set up the 50-50 and or in the corner. You know, mid screen, I would say it's not as reliable because it's too slow of a startup. Yeah, you can hit them, but they're gonna be moving around, right? And it's, how fast is this? 23 frame startup versus 20 and 20. So yeah, it's a little slower, right? More committal. It does have great travel, you know, unlike the light one. It goes a little further. However, again, since it's slower, you don't want to use it too much, especially if you have EX, because it's fully invincible and you get a combo anyway, and you're going to build the bar back you spent anyway. So you typically stick to light or heavy. And again, except for the corner where you do get mix off of it, as I showed earlier. You just gotta time it better. This is the time you would typically use. And hey, if they stand up and get hit anyway by it, it's It's a win-win scenario. You get the hit, you do a combo. What combo do you do? I don't know. You know, I don't play Vegeta like that. Boom, put him level 3, party time. So yeah, it's always a win scenario, or at least a scenario that favors you. When you make your opponent block, when you throw it on neutral, of course you have to back yourself up with assists because, you know, you don't want to be stuck whiffing there. And then your opponent 2H's you after the invisibility runs out. And just to note, you can do them in the air, right? And the regular ones are Ki Blast and vulnerable as shown there. The medium version in the air actually aims downward, which is nice instead of going higher up. Light version just goes straight forward. But they have a decent amount of recovery, so you have to be careful. And of course heavy. Heavy is always go to. You're playing neutral, just heavy. Call an assist. It'll play neutral for you. Finally, we have Super Dash Kick, right? There's the light, medium, heavy version, as always, and the special move do give you different results. The light version is a true string, so if you just want to keep the pressure going, you'll do the light version, right? If you want to get a mix-up, do note that there is a gap between the light and the medium one, which will give you the mix-up. So you can be reflected level 3, right? The rescue Ren, but if you do get them to keep blocking, you get the 50-50. That's funny. That's funny. Now you can also do the heavy version, right? You have to do the medium and to the heavy version to get the height. But it does give you the cross up. If I could hit this, there we go. This is super grimy, right? You steal the corner or you just side switch. You can opt to backdash here, and then you could fake the high, and then you could go low. A lot of options here. Very grimy. Or you can air dash. You can even do this off the regular one. You can air dash, and then you can go overhead, right? And of course, if they stand block, they'll get hit. Let me just do it for reference. There we go. So you delay the high, make them think you're gonna go high, but you're actually gonna command grab. It's all a guess, right? It's all a guess that favors you. And if they duck it, as you saw, you get out of there. If they stand block it, they get grabbed. You have a plethora of options. It's kind of messed up, and Blue Vegeta players don't even use them all most of the time, which is scary to think about. So imagine you just used all your tools and every option you had. Yeah, how do you lose? How do you lose? Do note that you could just do M Rekka at the start and get the 50-50. That is also an option to just mix up your timing to keep your opponent guessing. You don't have to do light and then medium. You could just straight up do medium. But there is a gap. Again, there is a gap, so be careful. Now, when it comes to Vegeta Supers, he does have Gallican. You cannot do it in the air, unfortunately. It is only ground okay. Unfortunately, you cannot do it in the air. But he has the command grab, so you usually have a way to always get back to the ground. I'm not going to say every time, because there are times where you start with command grab, but then you can't Dragon Rush, right? Because you don't have bar to vanish. So it could be a little weird and finicky sometimes. And then he has Niagara Pummel. I think this might be one of the better supers in the game, due to the fact that you can confirm it like this, right? You get the hit, right? And then you can super dash, right? You can then command grab, and then level 3. I think it's one of the better supers in terms of utility in the entire game. Because look what just happened off a random full screen confirm because you were playing neutral and then you air dashed in or something and you got hit by it. It's just me. If you think otherwise, please let me know. But I think utility wise, amazing, fantastic, superb. Then we have level 3. Tried and true final flash, and of course it goes into level 5. It's one of the lower damaging level 5s, but it's still level 5, right? You can't really complain too much because you have the access to extra damage, you have the meter combined with all these different conversions, right? Like I showed earlier, Niagara Pummel to this, you know, you get the conversion. I missed it, whatever, you know what I was getting at, right? And I'm sure you can TLD if you do somehow end up with him as anchor, or even if he's on point. He's a TLD machine. You could easily TLD with him on point. It's another reason, if you needed one, why should I have him point or at least mid? He shits out damage. Lastly, we have the assist, right? Big Bang is the first assist, right? It's super weird, right? The timing is unconventional. It is not like the other assists. It has a very long startup. No way it's 69 frames. That's so funny. At that range anyway, right? Obviously more if it's spaced out. That's actually hilarious. But the good thing about it is, one, he is spaced out, so it's a defensive assist, kind of. It does have long startup, you know. It's not like Vegeta Way or even Janimba, kind of, right? You know, that are in the 30-ish range around there. But it's still a thing. You just have to block a little bit longer and watch out for that Dragon Rush. It does give you forever to convert off of it. You do recover on what, like this 70th frame? Yeah. So you have funny number, 69 frames to convert off of it, right? It does a lot of damage too. It's about, yeah, it does 2k damage, which is insane because other assists do, you know, 760. So it's a very powerful assist, you know, compared to the others. What is that? 1410. Wow. So again, very powerful assist. You could probably TLD with this assist if you have the right composition. That's funny. Now his other assist, it's just the last hit of his auto combo. So it causes a ground bounce. You know, it hits decently high up. Goes not too far. There are some teams that prefer this, right? It's pretty fast. Its frame advantage is okay, but I mean, you know, you got Big Bang over here. You know, your 45 frames, right? You can mix with this, even if you kind of call it like this, right? It's just the fear of the Big Bang behind you that your opponent won't hit anything. So you've instilled that fear into them. Oh, if I get hit by this, I'm gonna explode. I'm scared to hit the button. It is super weird to convert off of it or to convert into it, but you just practice it and you'll get the timing. Finally, we have C assist. Okay, yeah, it only tracks on the ground, but not the air, which is not half bad. It is 55 frames of advantage, so it does give you time to get a true mix with no gap. So it's really just up to you. Do you want the defensive unconventional assist? Do you want something that's easier to use and more reliable? Or do you want the assist that has full screen presence on the ground that gives you a 50-50 the moment they block it in any situation, right? Just up to you. But personally, Big Bang's probably the best. Yep, most damage, most time to convert outside of the C assist, but you know, half the time to recover. You get to use 2 in the time of 1 C assist, basically. But yeah, Blue Vegeta overall, very strong, very scary. You know, one of the 4 horsemen because he has this stupid invincible move that, you know, I don't know what the devs were thinking when they gave this to him. Oh, look at all that meter, bro. What I start with? Yeah, so 5.5, and I got the 6.5 part. Man. Anyways, you see the potential, and I'm sure you've played many Blue Vegetas at this point of the game's lifespan. Play him, don't play him. He's gonna be a menace. People are gonna hate him. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you want me to do next, and I appreciate y'all. Again, happy holidays, because the new year's still coming up, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye!